A long time ago, in the land of Israel, there was a young shepherd boy named David. He was the youngest in his family, and his daily work was taking care of his father's sheep. Though he was young, David was full of faith in God and very courageous. One day, the army of Israel was at war with the Philistines. Among the Philistines was a giant named Goliath. He was incredibly tall and strong, carrying massive weapons that terrified everyone. Every day, Goliath stood on the battlefield and mocked the army of Israel, shouting, "Who among you dares to fight me one-on-one? If you defeat me, we will surrender, but if I defeat you, you will become our slaves." The soldiers of Israel were terrified by his words, and no one dared to step forward. Even King Saul felt helpless because no one was willing to face the giant. At that moment, David arrived at the battlefield. He had come to bring food to his brothers, but when he heard Goliath's taunts, he was filled with righteous anger. He said to King Saul, "I am willing to fight this giant because I believe God will help me." At first, Saul didn't believe him, as David appeared young and small. But David assured him, saying, "I have fought lions and bears while protecting my sheep in the field. I believe God will help me defeat Goliath just as he helped me before." The soldiers of Israel were terrified by his words, and no one dared to step forward. Even King Saul felt helpless because no one was willing to face the giant. Finally, Saul agreed and gave David armor and weapons. However, David found the armor too heavy and the weapons unsuitable. He put them aside and took only a shepherd's staff, 5 smooth stones, and his sling. As David approached Goliath, the giant mocked him, saying, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" But David was unafraid and replied, "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, God will deliver you into my hands." With that, David took a stone from his bag, placed it in his sling, and hurled it with great force. The stone struck Goliath's forehead, and the giant immediately fell to the ground, dead. The army of Israel cheered at the sight of Goliath's defeat. They pursued the Philistines and won a great victory. From that day on, David's courage and faith were admired by everyone. He gradually became a hero of Israel and eventually a great king.